his answer?
I was disappointed. I was very disappointed. I was like, oh, okay. Because that's not what you told me, but okay.
Common is finally exposing the real reason he dumped Tiffany Haddish, and y'all will not believe the things he has to say about her. While Tiffany claims that her relationship with Common was the best she ever had, Common, on the other hand, believes that Tiffany was the most toxic woman he's ever dated. And she even went as far as to try and trap him into marriage. Most of us were really out here thinking Tiffany was gonna be the one to finally tie Common down. Whole time, the poor man was suffocating in that relationship.
We weren't feeding the relationship, and it was hard for me to balance all of that and keep the relationship, fed.
So, was Tiffany really as toxic as Common is making her out to be? Or is it just Common being Common and blaming the woman for another one of his failed relationships?
He might be the type of person that never really settles with somebody. Maybe he's like he's like a bee going from flower to flower to flower. I don't know. I wish him nothing but joy and happiness.
Honestly, Tiffany and Common's relationship was random as hell to begin with. I mean, yeah, they were cute, but nobody saw it coming. And their relationship didn't make sense to a lot of people. But for a minute, they had us convinced that this relationship was really gonna lead somewhere. But just like all of Common's other relationships, it fell apart in just a year. But before I get into all the messy details of their breakup, let's talk a little bit about both Tiffany and Common's past relationships. Because they're both a hot stinking mess, and that's why it explains why their relationship was just so toxic. Okay, so before meeting Common, Tiffany was married to a man named William Stewart, who she described at the time as the love of her life. However, it looks like love just wasn't enough to keep them together, because she filed for divorce after just 3 years. She accused him of abusing her during their marriage. He later slapped her with a defamation lawsuit, which they settled outside of court. After that, Tiffany hopped in and out of a few relationships, but she mostly kept it on the low key. But Common, on the other hand, was laying that pipe down and was involved in a lot of highly publicized relationships with celebrities like Erykah Badu, Taraji P. Henson, and Serena Williams. But it wasn't up until he started dating political activist and podcaster Angela Rye that we really got the scoop on why all of his relationships were failing. He and Angela were on and off for a while before finally calling it quits in 2017. According to Angela, she was ready to have kids and start a family, but Common wasn't. She said, "We just wanted different things. We had been talking for 2 months about trying to see where things go because I'm leaning towards I want kids and he was leaning towards I don't know if I want kids. So I said, I don't know what else there is to talk about." Common admitted that after this relationship with Angela, he went to therapy to try and fix his issues because he knew he wanted to be married one day.
The pattern I found myself in, what was called love addiction, my therapist broke it down, was like that feeling of being like, oh, I'm in love, and this that honeymoon period that people call it. I was addicted to that feeling.
Anyway, right after his self-reflection journey, he met Tiffany while they both were working on the film The Kitchen, and things moved very quickly between them. They moved in together and could not stop talking about each other during their interviews. Tiffany sent the internet into a frenzy when she showed him off on Instagram Live with Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade.
Hey there. Yeah. What? You're not ready? You get cut off and you motherfuckers brought the tea.
Okay, I ain't even gonna lie, that was really cute. And the two of them just seemed so in love. Tiffany was quoted saying, "I feel more confident in myself and it's not him that's doing it. I'm just way happier. And it's like knowing I got somebody that cares about me, that really has my back. It seems like he does anyway. And I love it. I love him." However, just after a few months of them dating, people started to notice the shift in their behavior. They were barely posting on social media anymore and started avoiding questions about their relationship in interviews. In fact, for Tiffany's 41st birthday, she revealed that she just wanted to receive something really big from Common. She said, "I'm just hoping me and my man, we will go on a hot air balloon trip and have a nice little meal." That's what I would like to do. Every birthday, I try to do something I've never done before. I feel like it's an exciting way to live life. Well, none of those wishes came true because all Common got her was flowers. Now, I'm not saying gifting flowers is not a good gift, but it seems a bit tone deaf when the person you're gifting it to has already made you aware of what they want. And it's not as if Common can't afford to do the things that Tiffany's asking for, so what was the reason? She also revealed that she wanted Common to propose to her with a piece of real estate, and this is what he had to say about that.
Dish the other day,
Oh, yeah.
and she said that when you propose, don't come at me with a ring, I need a deed.
Yeah, she always says that.
She always says that?
She's about getting the land, man. I love that. I mean, that's hey, I respect that, but yeah, if that's what she wants, you gotta give a woman what she wants.
Yeah, that don't sound like a man that has plans of proposing, especially not with no real estate. And not too long after that, sources close to Tiffany confirmed that Common dumped her after a year of dating, with Common describing the breakup as a mutual breakup during a candid interview with Jason Lee.
And we came to the understanding it was a mutual thing, essentially, that we came to the understanding that like this is what's gonna be best, like for us to still continue to love each other and be there for each other, is to not be in a romantic relationship. But it probably was the most mature relationship I have been in a relationship.
He also admitted that once the COVID restrictions were lifted, their communication went down the drain because they both had to go back to work.
I think once Tiffany and I got back on the move, it really didn't allow for us to spend as much time and put as much energy into our relationship. I don't think the love really dispersed. I just think it was just like we weren't feeding the relationship.
But Tiffany, on the other hand, had a whole different recollection of how the breakup even went down, because it was definitely not mutual to her.
I'm fine with it. It's gonna be new opportunities. I miss him from time to time, but that's what I think with any relationship, an intimate relationship that you might have, you miss them, but I'm fine with it.
She fired back at Common for lying about the breakup being mutual and even claimed that he dumped her over the phone. She said it was more him saying, I think this relationship has run its course. And I was like, okay, like you're gonna be a 50-year-old single man. Okay.
What did you think about that?
The same thing everybody else was thinking in them comments. He might be the type of person that never like really settles with somebody. Maybe he's like he's like a bee going from flower to flower to flower. I don't know. I wish him nothing but joy and happiness. I was disappointed. I was very disappointed. I was like, oh, okay. Because that's not what you told me, but okay.
There were also reports of Tiffany trying to force Common into having a child with her, even though he made it very clear to her multiple times that it was never gonna happen. She allegedly even suggested to foster some children, but he still insisted on not having a child with her. He felt like Tiffany was trying to corner him into marrying her, and he just wasn't feeling it. Sources close to him even revealed that Tiffany going public about how she wanted him to pop the question was just a manipulative tactic to force him back into settling down with her. Oh, but that's just the start of the messy details around their divorce, because insiders close to them also said Common's decision to dump Tiffany had a lot to do with the drama that Tiffany was involved in with Aries Spears. Now, in case you somehow missed it, Tiffany was accused of making two siblings, who for legal reasons will go by the names Jane and John Doe, perform inappropriate acts on camera while they were still minors. The lawsuit also claimed that their mom, who had also tried to file a lawsuit against Tiffany a few years back but wasn't successful. And apparently Common knew about these lawsuits way before the public even knew about them, and he was disgusted. And let's be real, ever since these allegations became public, people don't even see Tiffany in the same light that they saw her before. So maybe that's why he dumped her before the scandal could also affect his reputation. situation. Child, cause Common didn't waste no time. He saw those lawsuits coming and immediately took off before they even got publicized, and I honestly can't even blame him. Now, some people took to social media to drag Tiffany for trying to destroy Common's life, like this person, who said, quote, Common didn't want kids, but she did. She wanted him to change despite knowing his boundaries and ignoring them. Tiffany is wild AF. She has zero filters and no common sense. Plus, the allegations don't paint a pretty picture. She is not ready to be with anyone until she does some work on herself first. Another person chimed in and said, Common worked hard to build his career, so he was right to get out before it all hit the fan. Besides, it doesn't seem that Common was that interested in Tiffany anyway. But now I want to know your thoughts on this mess. Do you think Common was right to dump Tiffany like that? And how do you feel about Common exposing her for being toxic? As always, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and don't forget to click here to watch this other messy video.